Okay, so let's dive right in. My husband, 30, and I, 32 female, have 3 wonderful children. Also, I'm currently pregnant with our 4th kiddo. I've always had a somewhat tense relationship with my in-laws. They showed me in our early stages of dating that they really didn't care about me as a person, and even now, I feel like all they're looking for when talking to me is gossip about their friends. I try getting along with them as well as possible, especially since I want my kids to have a good relationship with them. Last weekend, my kids spent a couple of hours at my in-laws' house while my husband and I went baby shopping. We called to let them know we'd be there in about 20 minutes on our way back. They told us they went to the mall because the boys wanted to look at toys and they'd leave now. I heard my daughter crying in the background, which I didn't think much of it since she was only 17 months old. I still asked, and my mother-in-law said she wanted ice cream, but they said no. All right, fair enough. When we got to their house, we waited just a bit since they were on their way. A couple of minutes pass and they arrive, happy to see us. The kids, that is. LOL. Our daughter's eyes are still red from crying, so I pick her up for snuggles and ask what's wrong. Then I see it. My in-laws got her ears pierced. They knew we didn't want it to be done yet, since they told us multiple times to take the chance while she's young and won't remember the pain. And every single time we said, no, we want it to be her choice when she's old enough. I got furious and yelled at my in-laws. They didn't apologize or anything like that. My husband tried to defuse the situation, and eventually he convinced me it was better to drive home and cool off. So the day after that, I called and said I was sorry about yelling at them, but what they did was unacceptable. They still didn't see anything wrong with it and called me hormonal and irrational. That took the cake for me. I was furious and told them I didn't want them near my children again if neither my husband nor I were present. Then I hung up. They think they're in the right and I'm overreacting and that once baby number 4 is here, I'll come to my senses. My husband thinks my reaction was a little harsh, but agrees it was unacceptable. I get that he wants our children to have a normal relationship with his parents, but I feel like I lost all trust in them. My best friend says that I shouldn't have made such a decision in the heat of the moment, and that I should apologize and try to find a compromise. Another friend understands me and says he would have done the same. I feel like everybody has a different opinion on how I should have handled the situation. So, am I the idiot? Not the idiot. If they thought it was okay to do, they would have mentioned it beforehand. If they respected you, they would have asked ahead and respected your reply. Sorry, your in-laws are stupid. Neither mine nor my parents would do this because it's clearly disrespectful, inappropriate, and a gross thing to do. Finally, if my parents said my wife was hormonal at any point, let alone when she acted passionately, but was also in the right, I will let my parents have it. That's some stupid crap to say. Not the idiot. You told them more than once, no, we're not doing that. And they did it anyway. At a crappy mall store, because they decided they know better, have the authority, don't care about your input on your own damn child, and you're just wrong. And then they blamed your response on pregnancy hormones. Your best friend is an enabler. Apologize? For what? You did nothing wrong. They did. There is no compromise because they already went against your wishes. There's nothing to be done. You can take the stubs out and allow her ears to heal, but they already did the damage. I wouldn't be surprised if your daughter is now afraid of them. Holy smokes, you're taking this well. My wife would have gouged their eyes out. This is a massive betrayal of trust. I wouldn't allow them to be alone with your children again. How disgusting. Personally, I go no contact. Get a doctor to check out the piercings immediately and remove the earrings, and make sure there's a paper trail of them having done it without your permission, in case they escalate things. Update. Am I the idiot for not letting my in-laws near my children? Since so many people were asking, we took the piercings out as soon as we got home. Thank you all. I didn't expect that many comments, and I sure feel reassured in my decision. It's pretty late now and honestly I'm too sleepy to respond, but I still wanted to give a teeny update since way more has happened since I posted than I had expected. When my husband came home, I told him that I wanted to talk about the issue again, and he said he wanted to too, and that he had thought about it a lot in the past few days. He said he was sorry about his underreaction and that he felt terrible. I don't think I'll be pressing charges, though. My husband's company has a couple of branches in other states, so he even came up with the idea to move out of state so that his parents don't even have the chance to guilt trip either one of us into seeing our children when we don't want to. He even showed me 2 or 3 houses near his preferred location that he liked, which I thought was cute. Nonetheless, I don't know how I feel about the moving idea yet. On the other hand, I like the idea of being far away from my in-laws. On the other hand, it feels like flight instead of establishing my or our boundaries, even if I won't let them near my children either way. Also, I don't think moving while very pregnant or with a newborn, depending on when that had happened, isn't easy. Although I know a couple of people who have done that. But then again, this is just a budding idea forming in my husband's head today. So we'll see. My husband nor I have talked to his parents since I banned them from unsupervised visits. So all in all, there's a lot we talked about and a lot to think about in the next couple of weeks. So we'll see where the road takes us. I'm obviously still furious with my in-laws, but other than that, I feel good about how this is going. The talk made me feel much better. About our daughter's ears, they look fine to me, but I'm not an expert, so I'm glad my pediatrician will see her on Friday. Thank you all for your support. I'll keep you updated if any of you are interested. Big mama hugs to all of you. Great news, OP. I'd suggest that you move. They have no boundaries, and as long as you live nearby, they can wear you down by acting as they care. Then when you least expect it, they'll assault one of your children again. Yes, I know moving is difficult, but your family will be much better off for being far away from those people. Yes, the in-laws are gigantic idiots for so many reasons, but you don't need to move away. Just keep them away, at least at arm's length. No more babysitting or unsupervised visits or outings. They don't get to give your kids any food or drink. They don't get to come and go freely. And if they have a key, the lock is changed. Of course, they will gripe and cry and rage about being deprived of time with their beloved grandkids, but no one is to blame but them for violating your trust. Update number 2. Am I the idiot for not letting my in-laws near my children? Hi everyone. I thought I'd give you all an update on what happened since I posted 3 months ago. My husband and I have decided to move to a different state. Thank you to the person calling it a tactical retreat. It helped me to see it in a different light. We have already found a house in a lovely neighborhood that ticks off all our boxes. Well, almost. But we're in love with that house and can't wait to move in. My husband will stay at the company he works for, which has another location in our new state, just a town over, around a 45-minute commute. As for his parents, I haven't spoken to them since my last update, and I honestly don't miss it. My husband did all the talking with them, which involved telling them about our move, why it's happening, and about them being welcome at our new house. I'm so grateful to have him. It's not his fault he got parents like that. I go into more details, but I'm just too tired. My due date is in a couple of days. We are getting as much ready as possible. It's exhausting. My back hurts, and I'm beyond ready for this baby to come out. Oh, and if you're wondering, my best friend and I are still friends, though I'm trying to kind of distance myself from her. Ever since then, I have noticed other toxic behavior, and I think it'll be best for me to keep that distance for a while. Thank you for helping me to see that. I am fighting with my ex right now over this. My young teenage son lives with me and sees his dad on weekends and summers. Over a global issue for about a year plus, he lived with his dad during school days, and I guess he was doing well, A's, honor roll, etc. My ex claims he had to work hard to teach him good study habits and do his work, because when he was at my house, he didn't. We had a custody battle over the kids, and the courts felt that because they've been in my school district their whole life, they ought to stay with me. So here we are. Well, the last 4 months, my son has been getting into trouble, and per the teachers, not doing his work, disrupting class, and has gotten suspended once over something dumb. He made a flamethrower out of a lighter and body spray at school with his friends. He was just a dumb teen boy and trying to impress his friends. So now he may be suspended again over something else his friend did. I didn't think his first trimester grades were bad. He started off with A's, but ended up with all B's and 1 C. He currently has 2 F's and C's this trimester, but he has all semester to turn in his missing work. My ex has been hounding me, saying I wanted him with me, but I'm failing him as a mother. He says I need to stay on top of him more because there's only so much he can do only seeing his son 6 days a month. He thinks he started off okay, but is clearly declining and not doing his work. He told me our son's parent-teacher conference was horrible, where all 6 of his teachers were telling us that our son is disruptive, his friends seem to be influencing him negatively, and he doesn't turn in work. My ex says that our son needs more parental attention than most kids, especially with schoolwork. He's mad that I pulled him out of therapy, despite the therapist saying our son is fine. He also says my area is bad, low income, and we need to do something about the kids he hangs out with. But our son could run into these types of kids anywhere. I have done this. I talked to my son multiple times about his schoolwork. He told me it's too much work. I said he had to do it. My ex thinks this isn't enough. When he got suspended, I took his phone away when he went to his dad's for the weekend. I gave him plenty of attention as I only work part-time. One of the kids he's friends with got expelled, so I don't think the school friends are an issue. What else is a single mom supposed to do? He's a teen. My friends tell me this isn't abnormal behavior. However, my ex and his sisters keep telling me I'm not doing enough, and I was an idiot for insisting the kids stay with me, despite our son doing really well at his dad's. You are the idiot. Obviously, what you're doing isn't working, since he's failing, getting suspended, and being disruptive to the point that multiple teachers are involved. How do you think this is normal? How do you genuinely not see that you're failing as a parent? Is this a joke? Your child's friend got expelled, and you don't think there's a problem with who he hangs out with? It seems like your ex should have custody. You are the idiot currently. While the teenage years are tough, and his rebellious acts aren't the material of epic failure, the fact is, a formula was found where the kid stayed out of trouble and was doing school successfully. If dad is willing and able to take him back, send him post haste. It sounds like his chosen friends may be part of the issue as well, but a fresh start and dad's stricter household rules may be what he needs. I was on the fence for a bit, but when your sister agrees you're the problem, you need to look in the mirror. Not the idiot. You should give him extra candy and video games when he builds flamethrowers in school, because it shows creativity and initiative. I think it's bizarre that his dad isn't happy about F's. F comes after A in the alphabet, so obviously an F is better. Dad needs to chill out and get with the times. I'm a 26 male, and I married my wife 26 this summer. Before my wife and I met, she dated a guy who was much older than her. She was 19 and he was 47. He's 54 now. They dated for a very short time, less than 6 months, and their relationship was very toxic. My wife has said so, but my in-laws adore this man for some reason and still keep in contact with him. My wife and I have been together for 6 years now, and while I maintain a decent relationship with my in-laws, they're not the kindest people around. My wife also admits that. I knew they kept in contact with my wife's ex, but I didn't know to what extent, and I didn't care to find out. After we got married, I noticed some birthday cards to my in-laws every time I visited their house on their birthdays or anniversaries. On September 2nd, it was mother-in-law's birthday, and my wife's ex had sent her a birthday card which said, "To the loveliest mother-in-law I could ever ask for, the son-in-law of your heart." My wife saw it too, and we were taken aback but brushed it off. September 15th was my father-in-law's birthday, and another card was sent from him and said, "To my dearest almost father-in-law who I will always adore." Last week at the beginning of December, it was my in-laws' wedding anniversary. I noticed they had stuck the other cards of ex on their fridge displaying them, and there was a new card there about their anniversary, "Dearest in-laws" and the usual. After a while, my wife and I decided to say goodbye and leave because we felt uncomfortable. My wife confronted her parents about it, to which they responded that I'm insecure and that they're allowed to be friends with my wife's ex. My wife is mad at them, and I told her I would not visit them again because they've made it clear I'm not liked or welcome, and I feel disrespected by that display of those cards, as if I'm some random insignificant guy in their lives. My wife understands my perspective, but tells me I'd look like the idiot if I refuse to visit them, and that we need to do better than this. Am I the idiot? Not the idiot. Maybe it's just me, but the whole referring to them as his in-laws thing strikes me as a red flag. And for your wife's safety, I wouldn't be giving them any information about her schedule, and not when she's home alone, especially since their relationship ended over 6 years ago and only lasted less than 6 months. Not the idiot. A 47-year-old man preyed on their 19-year-old daughter for 6 months, and they prefer him? I wonder if your wife was subjected to a narcissistic upbringing and unconsciously sought that same dynamic in an older man at that age. It'd explain why these people all get on. Birds of a feather and all that. You do not have to visit them if you don't want to, but your wife should have a serious conversation with them about her ex. It's almost love bombing, but aimed at her parents instead of her now. It's about control. They need to cut that cord and make it up to their daughter. This is really weird. Besides, even if it is one thing just to be friends with the ex, they cross the friend line all the time by saying things like, "to my father-in-law in spirit." My grandparents stayed friends with the parents of my dad's ex-girlfriend from high school, but even then, it's just the parents and not the exes themselves. Is there not something else going on? Your in-laws are messed up to support a relationship like that. Thank God she was smart enough to get away. So I, 22 female, recently started working at a large tech company, and things have been all right. I'm part of a male-dominated team. I'm the only woman, and I'm mixed. Everyone has been nice. However, I've had some issues with my boss, 30 male. So we're all working from home, and my workplace is pretty casual. When my colleagues talk to my boss, written or via video calls, the tone is casual. They don't have to call him sir or anything. I do the same. However, he told me via email that he's not happy with this. He said that it's unprofessional for me to use a casual tone and not call him sir. Fast forward to this week. I was in a meeting with him and 3 other guys. Boss told me to put my camera on, which was already annoying since he didn't ask the other guys, and I did. Then at the end of the call, he told me to stay behind to have a serious discussion. Long story short, he said that my lack of professionalism is unacceptable and that I should respect his authority over me. And he said that I didn't even call him sir or boss at all and seemed disinterested. Weird, because I was fully engaging in the meeting and was the only one with my camera on. This is my first serious job, so I'm not sure what to think. Is it unprofessional for me not to call my boss sir when nobody else does? Personally, I think it's strange because I'm the only woman of color on my team and no one is dealing with this. I didn't call my boss sir during a meeting, and I could be the idiot because he previously told me that he's not happy with this casual tone. Document, 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 and report to HR. Documentation is critical, or it becomes your word against the boss. HR will usually side with the boss in those cases. Bring the records, and you have the boss and the whole company by the short and curly hairs. Document first. Everything else hinges on her having proof. This isn't an idiot issue. It's harassment and discrimination. Yes, I was going to say this. Document. Even secretly record your screen in the meeting after he asks everyone to leave. Make sure to document everything, including time and date. HR will side with the boss, but with proof, you get protection and call him Mr. So-and-so. Don't call him sir. Your boss is on a power trip and thinks he can get away with it. Take the issue to HR. This isn't okay.